Chosen one, what if I told you the signs have always been there, but this is the first time you're seeing them clearly? Think about it. The way people react to you, the feeling that you've always been different, the unexplainable events that align in your life. These aren't just coincidences. They're marks, divine fingerprints left on your spirit from the very start. And now, as these marks begin to activate, the world can't help but notice. The reason you feel so deeply, why your energy shifts entire rooms, and why your thoughts seem to shape the world around you, it's all connected. In this video, we're diving into 3 spiritual marks you've carried since birth. Marks that set you apart, guide you, and confirm that you're chosen. Stay with me, because these signs aren't just proof of your purpose. They're keys to unlocking the life you were born to live. If this message already speaks to your soul, subscribe, like this video, and comment 77 below. Now, let's explore the truth about who you really are. Spiritual radar. You sense the unseen. Have you ever walked into a room and instantly felt that something was off, even before anyone spoke? Maybe you've had moments where a decision just didn't sit right, even though it looked fine on paper. That's your spiritual radar kicking in. It's a sense that goes beyond the physical or the logical. A deep, internal knowing that whispers, "Pay attention." When you have this gift of discernment, you're not just reacting to the obvious. You're tuning into something unseen. It's as if your soul has a finely tuned instrument that picks up on vibrations most people don't even know exist. This isn't a fleeting feeling. It's a recurring theme in your life, and it's one of the clearest signs that you're chosen. Over time, this heightened awareness can feel both like a blessing and a burden. The blessing is clear, you're protected. You sense danger before it strikes, you avoid relationships that would have drained you, and you move in directions that lead to unexpected blessings. But the burden is equally real. It can be isolating to see what others don't, to know the truth beneath the surface when everyone else seems content with the facade. It can make you feel out of place, wondering why you can't just ignore that gut feeling and go along with the crowd. But the truth is, you were never meant to blend in. That deep sense of something's not right isn't a curse. It's a signal, a divine alarm bell placed within you to keep you aligned with a higher path. There's a moment in 1 Kings 19 verse 12 where the prophet Elijah hears a still small voice. Not in the wind, the earthquake, or the fire, but in the quiet. That's what discernment feels like. It's not always loud or dramatic. Often, it's a gentle nudge, a quiet tug at your spirit, reminding you that something is happening beyond what you can see. You might have experienced this in small, everyday ways. Choosing a different route home and later discovering it saved you from a delay, or feeling a sense of unease around someone who later proved untrustworthy. These aren't coincidences. They're moments when the spiritual radar God placed within you activates, helping you navigate the unseen and stay on course. As you begin to trust this internal compass, you'll notice that it becomes sharper, more refined. The more you lean into it, the more confident you'll become in recognizing when something is aligned with your spirit and when it's not. This discernment will guide you in ways that seem almost supernatural because they are. It's like walking through life with a map that others can't see. And while they may question your choices, you know they're not random. Each step you take is directed, even if it doesn't always make sense in the moment. It's only later, when the picture becomes clearer, that you realize how perfectly it all aligned. This is the gift of discernment in action. This spiritual radar also teaches you to pause and listen. In a world that moves fast and values immediate answers, discernment asks you to slow down and pay attention. It's not about fear, it's about clarity. You don't rush into decisions. You don't ignore the signs. You've learned that when your spirit hesitates, it's worth exploring why. Sometimes, it's as simple as feeling a slight discomfort that grows stronger the closer you get to a certain choice. Other times, it's a sudden calm that comes over you when you move in the right direction. These are your signals, your divine stop and go lights. They help you make choices that reflect your higher calling. The more you tune into this radar, the more you'll see how it protects you, even from things you may never fully understand. You might never know what you avoided by listening to that inner voice, but you will know the peace that comes from following it. It's not about paranoia or second-guessing everything. It's about trust. trusting that the same force that placed this radar within you also knows where you're going. And with every step you take in alignment with that guidance, you build a stronger connection to the source of your discernment. At some point, this discernment becomes second nature. You no longer question it, you just move with it. The moments of hesitation or doubt become rare because you've seen how it works. You've seen how following that still small voice leads to clarity, truth, and peace. You've experienced how it helps you avoid unnecessary pain and align with opportunities that bring you closer to your purpose. And while others might marvel at how lucky or intuitive you seem, you know it's more than that. It's a gift, a spiritual mark that has been with you all along. As you continue to lean into your discernment, you'll notice it growing stronger with each step of faith. You'll begin to trust it more deeply and rely on it more consistently. And in doing so, you'll find yourself not only navigating the unseen, but thriving in it. Your spiritual radar is your guide, your protector, and your constant reminder that you were chosen for a higher path. And as you walk that path, you'll see that what once felt like a burden was actually a profound blessing, one that keeps you aligned, protected, and moving forward toward your divine purpose. Comment, "I'm chosen," if you're starting to recognize these signs in your life. And if you feel called to go even deeper, there's a sacred space reserved for our community, a private room where you receive full prophetic messages daily. Join the Prop Heron membership through the link in the description and walk this path with us. The innocent are drawn to you. Have you ever wondered why certain people seem to gravitate toward you, even without knowing you? Why a child will stop crying the moment you pick them up? Or an animal will settle at your feet as though finding solace in your presence? It's not a coincidence, and it's not something you can turn off or explain away. It's your energy, your light drawing them in. These interactions might feel small or routine, but they hold a deeper meaning. You carry a resonance, an aura of peace and truth that others can feel before you even say a word. This isn't something you've forced or fabricated. It's a mark, a divine imprint on your soul that sets you apart. Those who are pure of heart, especially children and animals, recognize it instinctively. They sense safety, comfort, and authenticity in you, and they respond without hesitation. It's a reminder that your purpose isn't just to live, but to uplift those around you. Yet it hasn't always been easy. Being the light in a world that often feels dark can be isolating. Maybe you've felt the weight of expectations, the pressure to always be the strong one. Perhaps you've wondered why people open up to you so freely, why they trust you with their deepest fears and secrets, sometimes before you even know their names. Can feel overwhelming at times, as though you're carrying the emotional burdens of others. But these moments are also proof of your calling. You're not just a sounding board, you're a beacon. And while it might feel heavy, it's also sacred. You're here to show them the way back to peace, back to truth. It's not always an easy path, but it's a meaningful one. In Matthew 5 verses 14 to 16, Jesus said, "You are the light of the world. A city on a hill cannot be hidden." That light isn't something you have to earn. It's already within you. You don't need to try harder to be noticed or work harder to make people feel comfortable around you. Your very presence carries the essence of this light. That's why the innocent are drawn to you, not because of what you do, but because of who you are. This is the second mark, the undeniable evidence that your purpose goes beyond yourself. You are here to bring clarity where there's confusion, to offer peace where there's unrest, and to guide others simply by being present. It's not about fixing everyone's problems. It's about showing them that they are seen, heard, and valued. And that light you carry naturally does just that. As you walk in your calling, you'll notice that this mark continues to reveal itself in new ways. You might find that the more you align with your purpose, the more others will seek you out, not for advice or solutions, but simply to be in your presence. It's not about attracting attention. It's about resonating at a frequency that others can't ignore. Your authenticity becomes a mirror for them, reflecting back their own potential and truth. And the more you lean into this, the stronger that resonance becomes. It's as though your spirit calls out to theirs, offering a place of rest, a moment of clarity in a world that often feels chaotic. This connection you have with the innocent goes beyond words or actions. It's a spiritual bond, an unspoken understanding that transcends the physical. Children, animals, and those with open hearts respond to you because your light reminds them of something they might have forgotten, that they, too, are loved and seen by the divine. When a child rests their head on your shoulder or a stray animal chooses your lap to sleep in, it's not just affection, it's recognition. They see the truth in you, even if they can't put it into words. And it's not limited to those who are physically present. People you've never met might feel a sense of peace just by reading your words or hearing your voice. That's the power of this mark. It reaches beyond the immediate and touches something eternal. Over time, you'll come to see these moments not as random acts, but as reminders of your higher purpose. The innocent are drawn to you because you were made to bring light to the world. It's a responsibility, but it's also a gift. You don't have to carry everyone's burdens. You simply have to be. Your presence, your authenticity, and your light do the work. And as you step further into this calling, you'll find that you don't need to try harder or do more. You just need to trust the light within you and let it shine. It will guide those who need it most, and it will affirm your path with every new connection. So, the next time you notice someone looking to you for reassurance, comfort, or peace, remember that it's no accident. It's the mark you carry, the light you embody, calling them home. And as you continue on this journey, you'll see that the connection you have with the innocent is one of the purest confirmations of who you truly are. It's not just a trait or a tendency. It's a divine signature, a reminder that you were chosen to make an impact in a way that only you can. As you step into this truth, your light will grow even brighter, touching lives and guiding others toward the peace and clarity they've been seeking. Your thoughts manifest reality. There's a power in your thoughts that you may have felt for as long as you can remember. Maybe it's that moment when you envision something clearly in your mind, something you deeply wanted, and suddenly the pieces started falling into place. You didn't just dream about it. You thought about it with intention, and somehow the universe seemed to respond. It wasn't coincidence. It wasn't a random event. It was you engaging in the sacred act of creation. This isn't just some new age concept. It's an ancient truth, one that's woven into the fabric of spiritual wisdom. When you understand that your thoughts hold this power, you begin to see the world in a completely different way. You realize that the world doesn't just happen to you, you happen to the world. Every thought, every intention you hold with faith and clarity is a seed that can grow into something real, something tangible. But it's not always an easy realization. For many of us, the idea that our thoughts can shape our reality can feel overwhelming. It can feel like a heavy responsibility, especially when life hasn't gone as planned. You might think back to times when you felt trapped, powerless, or stuck in patterns that seemed unbreakable. You may have asked yourself, why can't things change? Or why does it feel like no matter what I do, I end up in the same place? These doubts are natural. They come from a place of longing, from a deep desire to break free and create a life that feels meaningful and true. The challenge, though, is in recognizing that these very thoughts, the ones born out of frustration and fear, can also influence your reality. It's not about blaming yourself. It's about understanding that even in those darker moments, your mind was always working, always creating. And once you realize this, you can begin to shift it. You can begin to direct that power towards something higher. There's a passage in Philippians 4 verse 8 that speaks directly to this. Whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable. If anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things. This isn't just advice. It's a blueprint for aligning your thoughts with divine intention. When you focus on what's good, when you hold on to what's pure and true, you start to bring more of that into your life. It's not about pretending that challenges don't exist. It's about choosing what you dwell on. When you start to fill your mind with thoughts of hope, faith, and abundance, you're not just changing your mindset, you're changing the reality around you. This is the turning point, realizing that your thoughts are not just random. They are instruments of creation. And with every thought, you're tuning that instrument, shaping a melody that echoes into the world. As you begin to shift your thoughts, you'll notice signs of transformation. They might appear subtly at first, You'll find that situations that once felt impossible start to open up. Doors you thought were locked begin to crack open. People show up in your life who support you in ways you never expected. Even your physical environment might start to change. Opportunities appear, connections grow stronger, and the path forward becomes clearer. You'll sense a new energy around you, as if the universe itself is aligning with your intentions. It's not that life suddenly becomes easy, but you'll see a distinct shift in how things unfold. When your thoughts align with your true purpose, it's like planting seeds in fertile soil. They grow not just because you want them to, but because you've prepared the ground, you've watered them with faith, and now they can thrive. This is the power of your thoughts manifesting reality. This is where divine intervention comes in. The shift you're experiencing isn't just a result of positive thinking. It's a result of spiritual alignment. When you begin to focus your thoughts on what's true, noble, and pure, you're essentially tuning your spirit to the frequency of divine guidance. This alignment doesn't happen by chance. Higher forces are at work, clearing your path, removing obstacles, and bringing synchronicities into your life. What once seemed like random events begin to make sense. You'll notice patterns, meaningful coincidences, and opportunities that appear just as you need them. This is divine timing. It's not just that you're thinking differently, it's that your thoughts are aligning with a greater plan. And when that happens, the energy around you shifts. People sense it. Circumstances change. The universe itself begins to move in harmony with your inner truth. But here's the crucial step. You must embrace this realization fully. This isn't a halfway journey. When you start to see that your thoughts shape your reality, you can't afford to dwell in doubt or fear. It's natural to feel resistance. It's natural to question whether you're really capable of such power. But the truth is, you've already been using it. The difference now is that you're aware. And awareness brings responsibility. You must decide to step into this truth wholeheartedly. This is your moment of self-realization. It's not about trying to control every detail of your life. It's about trusting that when you align your thoughts with divine purpose, the details take care of themselves. This is where faith comes in, not blind faith, but a deep, unwavering belief that you are guided, that you are connected to something greater. And when you accept that, you begin to move with confidence, knowing that every step you take is supported by the power of creation itself. From this place of confidence, you can step into your calling with courage. Now that you see the connection between your thoughts and reality, you can release the fear that held you back. You can let go of the doubts that told you it was all just chance. Instead, you can embrace your role as a co-creator, fully stepping into the identity you've always had. This isn't about wishing for a better life. It's about intentionally building it. It's about choosing thoughts that empower you, that uplift you, that resonate with the truth of who you are. When you do that, you'll find that your outer world begins to reflect your inner transformation. People will notice the change. You'll notice the change. And as you continue to walk in this truth, you'll see that the power of your thoughts isn't just a concept. It's a reality you live every single day. As you go forward, remember this: you were never powerless. Even in your hardest moments, your thoughts were shaping the world around you. The difference now is that you can harness this power intentionally, using it to align with your divine purpose and bring light into every area of your life. You've always carried this mark, the ability to create, to manifest, to shape reality. Now it's time to embrace it fully. Step into the truth of who you are and watch as your life transforms before your eyes. If this resonates with you, leave a comment and let me know. Your thoughts are powerful, and they're already changing your world. Authority that disturbs the darkness. You've likely felt it before. Stepping into a room and sensing the atmosphere change without a single word. Maybe the energy grew lighter, or maybe certain individuals became uncomfortable. This shift isn't about the clothes you wear, the title you hold, or the words you speak. It's about the authority you carry. It's a spiritual weight that others can't ignore. For some, it's a welcome presence, one that feels uplifting, like a refreshing breeze on a stifling day. But for others, those who resist truth or dwell in darkness, it can feel like an unmasking, an unwanted exposure. And yet, you haven't done anything but be who you are. Your presence itself becomes a statement, a reminder that light is stronger than shadow. Even if you're silent, that authority is felt. You are walking in an energy that stirs the unseen and commands attention without effort. For many chosen ones, this spiritual authority can feel isolating. You may wonder why certain people seem uneasy around you, or why some relationships shift the moment you step into a greater awareness of your purpose. The truth is, not everyone can handle the light you bring. Some may project their insecurities onto you, making you question whether you're doing something wrong. Others might avoid you, whisper about you, or try to pull you back into old patterns. This can be a heavy burden to bear. But remember, this isn't a reflection of your value. It's a reflection of the weight you carry. The resistance you face isn't because you're inadequate. It's because you're stepping into a divine authority that exposes what's hidden. This authority isn't something you earned through accolades or effort. It's something that was placed within you, a mark that sets you apart for a higher purpose. There's a scripture that resonates deeply here. In Luke 10 verse 19, Jesus says, "I have given you authority to overcome all the power of the enemy. Nothing will harm you." This isn't a promise that life will be easy, but it's a confirmation that the authority you carry is unshakable. It's a quiet strength, one that doesn't need to shout or demand recognition. This authority allows you to stand firm, even in the face of opposition. It's not about arrogance or superiority. It's about knowing who you are and whose you are. When you walk in this understanding, the opinions of others lose their grip. The rejection, the judgment, the discomfort of those who can't handle your light, all of it fades in the presence of your divine calling. You begin to see their reactions not as personal attacks, but as evidence of the authority you carry. As you grow into this awareness, you'll notice the signs of transformation all around you. People who once doubted you may start to seek your advice. Situations that once felt heavy or stagnant will begin to shift. It's not because you're trying harder. It's because you're standing in your truth. This is the power of your authority. You're not just pushing back darkness. You're creating space for light. Those who align with truth will feel drawn to you. They'll find comfort, inspiration, and hope in your presence. And for those who resist, their discomfort isn't your responsibility. It's a natural response to the energy you bring. As you continue on this path, you'll see more and more evidence of this authority at work. It will show up in the doors that open, the relationships that strengthen, and the clarity that comes in your purpose. What's happening here isn't a coincidence. It's divine intervention. The authority you carry is part of a greater plan, one that has been unfolding since the moment you were called. The forces that once opposed you are losing their grip, not because of what you say, but because of who you've become. The more you trust this process, the more you'll see that everything, every trial, every setback, every moment of doubt was a setup for this elevation. Spiritual forces are aligning behind you, clearing paths you couldn't have imagined, and opening doors that were once locked. This isn't about luck or chance. It's about divine timing. When you step into your authority, you're no longer walking alone. You're moving with the support of the unseen, the assurance that what is meant for you will not miss you. But stepping into this authority also requires acceptance. You must fully embrace who you are. This isn't a time to downplay your gifts or shrink to make others comfortable. It's not a time to second-guess your purpose or compare yourself to others. True alignment means embracing the fullness of your calling without hesitation. Fear of the unknown, fear of rejection. These are normal feelings, but they can't hold you back. This is the moment where you choose to walk boldly in your light. It's not about being perfect. It's about being true. When you accept this authority, you're not just acknowledging your role. You're honoring the one who gave it to you. This is the sacred shift, when you stop apologizing for your light and start letting it shine freely. From here, the path forward becomes clear. Your role isn't to convince others of your authority. It's to walk in it. Let your actions speak louder than words. Let your presence be the proof of what's been placed within you. Release the fear, doubt, and hesitation that have held you back. Trust that the authority you carry is enough. Step into your calling with confidence, knowing that every step you take is supported. Embrace your identity as a chosen one fully, and without reservation. As you do, you'll find that the darkness retreats, the resistance fades, and your purpose unfolds naturally. The authority you carry isn't just for you. It's a light for others to see, a beacon that reminds them of what's possible when you walk in truth. As we close, remember this: you don't have to fight to prove your worth. You don't have to convince anyone of your calling. You simply have to walk in your light. Your authority is not about power over others. It's about alignment with the truth. It's about standing in your purpose, knowing that you are guided, protected, and supported every step of the way. If this resonates with you, let me know in the comments. Your presence alone is enough to push back the darkness and make room for light. Trust that, embrace it, and keep moving forward. Patterns that prove the calling. Have you ever noticed how certain numbers seem to follow you? Maybe it's waking up at exactly 3:33, glancing at the clock and seeing 11:11, or encountering sequences like 777 or 444 everywhere you look. It might have felt like coincidence at first, something interesting but not worth much thought. But as time went on, these patterns became impossible to ignore. They showed up during moments of doubt, after prayers, or right before you made an important decision. These numbers, these recurring patterns, are not just random. They're divine signposts. Each appearance is a message from the spiritual realm, a reminder that you're walking a path far bigger than yourself. It's as if heaven itself is sending you a gentle tap on the shoulder, saying, "Look, you're on the right track. Keep going." You might have dismissed them before, but now you see that these patterns aren't just interesting, they're powerful. But it's not only the numbers. There are dreams, those vivid ones that stay with you long after you've woken up. They feel different from ordinary dreams. They're clearer, sharper, often leaving behind a feeling of deep understanding or a sense of purpose. You wake up knowing that something important has been revealed, even if you can't fully put it into words. And then there are the connections, the people who come into your life at just the right moment, the conversations that spark insights you needed but didn't even know you were looking for. These connections feel destined, as if they were always meant to happen. Together, these patterns form a tapestry, each thread pointing to one undeniable truth. You've been called. They're heaven's way of keeping you anchored, of showing you that you're not alone, and that there's a plan in motion far greater than you could have imagined. There's a powerful scripture in Jeremiah 1 verse 5 that resonates deeply here. "Before I formed you in the womb I knew you. Before you were born I set you apart." This verse is not just about a prophet's calling. It's about yours. It's a reminder that you were never random, that your existence was intentional. These patterns you've been seeing, those repeating numbers, those significant dreams, those aligned connections, they're heaven's reminders of this very truth. They tell you that you were chosen before you even entered this world, set apart for a unique purpose that only you can fulfill. These signs aren't just interesting observations. They're confirmations of your divine blueprint. They whisper to you, you've always been known. You've always been chosen. As you become more aware of these patterns, you'll notice how they begin to align with changes in your life. When you're on the verge of a breakthrough, the signs might intensify. When you're feeling lost, they appear to guide you back. It's as if the universe is mapping out your path in a language only you can understand. These signs are not just there to comfort you, they're there to prepare you. They show you when it's time to let go, to move forward, to trust. And as you start recognizing them, you'll find that your journey becomes more purposeful, more grounded. You'll see the hand of divine timing in ways you never thought possible, reminding you that every moment is connected and that every step is part of the plan. There's also a divine rhythm to these patterns. The more you pay attention, the more you see how perfectly they're orchestrated. For instance, just as you're contemplating a major decision, you notice the numbers again, as if heaven is saying, "Yes, keep going." Or when you're feeling overwhelmed and unsure, a vivid dream arrives, giving you clarity and reassurance. Over time, these patterns don't just feel comforting, they become tools. They help you discern. They help you trust. So here's the truth. You've always been different because you were never meant to fit in. You carry these marks as a divine signature, a reminder that your time isn't coming. It's here. The world is watching, and your light is undeniable. Subscribe if you haven't yet, like this video, and comment "I am chosen" to let this message anchor in your soul. Share it with someone who needs to hear this. For full prophetic revelations daily, join the membership via the link in the description. Your spiritual path deserves more than fragments. Step into the full light. And remember, you've always been marked, you've always been chosen, and now the world is about to see what that truly means.